What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about investing, how anybody who's looking to start investing specifically into the stock market should start investing. So if you've ever heard about people saying, okay, you need to invest, you need to learn how to invest, right? There's multiple ways that you can invest. Invest is just a broad way of saying put your money into something right now that will make you money in the future, that will make money for you later on. And there's multiple ways to invest. So there's people that invest into the stock market, they invest into uh assets like physical assets, whether some people invest into Pokemon cards, whether they have physical gold, some people invest into real estate. Real estate is a physical like asset that you could sell 5, 10 years down the line and make some money off of that. But the investing we're going to be talking about today is investing into the stock market, right? All those other physical ways of investing are cool and everything, but you have less liquidity when it comes to like selling those assets and being able to make your money as soon as possible, if that makes sense. Like in real estate, you have to buy the house, right? Let's say you buy the house and you're fixing it up. You buy the house, you buy it at a low cost, you fix up the property, you fix it up, and you renovate it, you redo the tiles, you redo the ceiling, you redo the walls, add nice furniture and everything. Then you have to wait for a buyer to come on the scene and actually be willing to pay more for what you put into the house and what you bought the house for. So let's say you put 30,000 into renovating the house and you bought the house for like another 30,000, right? Realist, like this is like just fictional numbers, but 60,000 as a whole. But just to break even, you would have to sell that house really for like 70,000 after closing costs and everything. But to even price that house in a like good price, to even price it out in a good price where you're able to make money, you'd have to check out what the other houses around your area are going for, and you'd have to make even more money, and you would have to check whether or not your repair costs and everything, your renovation costs, everything are surpassing the actual amount, and you'd have to make sure like your profit margin is good. So that in of itself is hard to do if you don't know what you're doing. And just like that, you could end up losing money. Just like that, you can end up down the drain. Just like that, you could end up with your credit getting messed up because let's say you borrowed money to start all these renovations. So real estate is a whole nother deal, right? That's a form of investing as well, but it's not something that you could just get started with. You need capital, you need money to start real estate. But something that's way easier just to start getting into is real estate investing. When I say real estate investing, I'm talking about investing into stocks, investing into ETFs, investing into long-term index funds that are going to be here for a while. The goal is to let your money work for you. Let it make money while you're sleeping. A lot of us, we hear the terms generational wealth. We hear the terms passive income, right? A lot of us in the community, we hear those words, but I don't want to be someone who's just consistently on a daily basis saying those words, generational wealth, right? Generational wealth or passive income. Those things are just kind of like things our community has kind of engraved in our minds as things that we should be doing. But when you hear those terms, you have to kind of go into what the meaning of them are. When I think about generational wealth, what I really think about is the knowledge that's going to be passed down. So I don't care about the actual money, right? Because the money is going to be getting used. The money that you make and then you pass on to your kids, it's going to be getting used. But I'm more thinking about the knowledge that you're going to be passing down from generation to generation, right? The generational knowledge that's going to be passed down. So people like to say generational wealth. I like to say generational knowledge. The knowledge that's going to be passed down. The investing knowledge that you have. The real estate knowledge. If you're into real estate, if you're into creating a business, starting a business, having a trust fund. Those are the type of things that I care more about when it comes to generational knowledge, right? I don't really care about the money because we give money value, right? Society has given money value, but the knowledge to keep on producing that amount of money and to keep that in your generation and in your bloodline is something else. So this is a real step by step on how to get into investing. So when you hear people talk about stocks, what are stocks, right? When you buy a stock, you're buying a small piece of a company. So just think about Apple, just think about Microsoft, just think about Google, those different types of companies. If that company goes grows over time, they grow in earnings, they grow in revenue, right? The value of your investment, the investment that you're making into this company is growing over time. So essentially what you're doing is you're betting on companies. This is not a form of gambling, right? In in some terms you could say it's a form of gambling, but because this evidence is actually backed by real companies, because this company the company is a real company, it's generating real profit. It's something that you can see on a day-to-day basis. You could see their numbers. You can see a company's earnings from the last quarter, from 5 quarters ago, from 2, 3, 4 years ago. There's records showing you, then you're able to make projections and you're able to make like kind of projections on how this company will perform with for the next year, 2 years, 3, 4 years, right? These companies are consistently speaking with consumers. And when I say consumers, people like me and you who are buying their product, even if it's not me and you, but they have bigger corporations that buy their product, but they're always speaking to us, telling us what they see the the growth for the company will be. These CEOs, the person who's in charge of the companies, come out, right? And they talk about the company. They talk about the growth in numbers, the money that they see their company making in the next few years. They also talk about what new products or what new services they might be offering to help them generate even more money. So when you think about a stock, an individual stock, you think about people who are willing to invest their money into a company and hoping to make money from that. So when you think about individual stock, people are investing their money into individual companies like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, whether those different types of companies, right? And they're hoping to make profit later on and allowing their investments to grow over time. So essentially you're investing into the growth of these companies, you're investing into the earning that these companies will be making over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, depending on how long you're investing into those specific stocks. So that's just stocks. That's how stocks work. Individual stocks, right? Single companies. The way you could find these individual stocks is through opening a personal brokerage app, whether you want to use a company like Robinhood, Fidelity, Vanguard, uh, Webull, E-Trade. There's multiple different brokerages that you can use, and all you got to do is take your phone and download the app on your phone, right? And the brokerage is digital now. A lot of things are digital. Back then it used to really be like you have to walk into a actual brick and mortar store to talk to someone, open up an account, but now everything is digitized, so you can pretty much be on your phone and access your account, right? You can be on your phone and download an app and open up multiple brokerage accounts depending on how you are and how you feel about investing. The second type of investment that I want to talk about is investing into ETFs. ETFs are, so before we talked about individual stocks, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Tesla, those Mag 7, there's multiple other companies as well. But ETFs are a group of stocks. ETFs are a basket of stocks. Instead of just buying one company, an ETF, you can invest into many different companies all at once. So think of it like buying a basket instead of just buying a single apple, instead of just buying a single fruit. You're buying a basket of bananas. You're buying a basket of oranges. One ETF can give you exposure to hundreds, if not thousands of different companies, depending on what's in the ETF. So just think about that. Would you rather invest in a single stock where there's more upside, you could possibly make more money, but you can also lose more money? Or would you rather invest into a long-term ETF where you're investing into multiple different companies all at once, right? So when you think about the price, or when you see the price of an ETF and it says $200, right? That ETF is specifically tracking those group of stocks, that's in its ETFs. There's multiple ETFs for many different sectors. When I say sectors, I just mean when you think about sectors, you think about healthcare, you think about technology, you think about retail, you think about financial. There's multiple different sectors. You think about AI, you think about space, right? Space is a new sector that's kind of uh, coming up on the rise right now. But when you think about investing into ETFs and you think about sectors, there's multiple different sectors that people can invest into. Obviously, people are going to go with the ones that cover the broad market, the ones that cover multiple stocks as a whole, so you can get more exposure. That's why many beginners actually start with ETFs, and I even advocate for some majority of ETFs because people who don't know what they're doing when they first get into the game, they try and chase the hot stock. They try and chase the thing that's going to make them the most money that they saw on TikTok, right? They saw an influencer or a specific creator talking about a stock and they went and invested into that stock. And for some reason, something in the government happened. And the day they decide to invest, that's the day the whole stock went against them. And they essentially, they didn't lose money, but in their unrealized losses, they're going to see that they lost money. And psychologically, if you're not in the game and you don't understand the game, you're going to think you lost money and it's going to lead to you selling and actually incurring a loss. So there's a difference. You have to learn when there's a down market in the market. Yes, you're down. You might be down 200, 300, $400. You haven't lost that money because you haven't sold your asset yet. You haven't sold your investment. That's the thing you have to kind of get rewired in your brain. You haven't sold your investment, so you haven't lost any money yet. But I would tell people, anybody who's getting into the market, you would rather invest into long-term ETFs because long-term ETFs are less riskier, right? You're not investing into one company where that company could just go down for the next 2-3 months, but you're investing into multiple different companies that over time will continuously grow. And the reason these ETFs grow is because the managers and fund managers of these specific ETFs are consistently cycling out the good and the bad companies that are in these ETFs. So you're always getting a good range of companies in these specific ETFs. When I think about investing, I had to understand something. Time matters when you start investing. There's people that make a huge mistake when it comes to investing and they don't invest early enough. They tell themselves they're gonna wait. They tell themselves they don't have enough money. They think that they need a lot of money to actually start. Investing is not about uh, a lot of money. It's not about having a broad, good amount of money and just investing into the market. That's not how you do it. You dollar cost average. You can consistently be putting 20, 30, 40, 50 a week. That 50 that you spend going out every weekend, you can now take this money and put it into your investment account. Open your investment account and start putting it into there and buying assets. Right? That 60, 70 you spend every week eating out, try and cut back on that, take 50 of that and spend it on investing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't take 100, 200, 300, $400 to start. You can start in increments. I promise you, once you understand what you're doing, you're going to tell yourself, okay, I need to ramp up my contributions. I need to ramp up the amount that I'm actually putting into my account. You have to start small. Start small and set like a weekly, whether it's weekly or bi-weekly, however much it is, you put some money into your investment account. When I first started, I was putting like 25. I didn't even know what I was doing. Probably was like 18 or 19, just putting like $25 every single month. Not every month. No, it was not every month. It was every week. I was actually putting every week 25. And I was just buying stuff, doing, kind of figuring things out. But then once I got the gist of it, I kind of understood, oh, I know what I'm doing now. So it's gonna click to you, right? When you start seeing, oh, you're buying specific companies and you're getting fractional shares, everything's gonna start clicking to you. So I want you to be someone who understands that if you start investing early, you're going to be the person that benefits in the long run. You're going to be the person that benefits in the long run. A lot of people take time to invest. They tell themselves they don't have enough money. They tell themselves, where can I find $200, $300 to actually start investing? I don't have that type of money. Well, if that's what you tell yourself, you're actually losing money every time you don't invest. You're actually losing money every time you let time go by and you're not investing because inflation is a real thing. Inflation is just a natural cycle of this life that we live, right? Things are naturally going to go up because companies want to make more money. They want to price their products higher. And then people like me and you, we want more raises. So companies have to essentially pay us, but then they also have to raise prices on their products just to like kind of break even and to make profit. Because year after year, these companies are trying to make even more money than they made the previous year. So that's why inflation is going to be a natural thing. And if you just let your money sit and not contribute it into the market, not contribute it into uh, growing over the next few years, then you're going to be at a stalemate. Your money's not going to be growing. So this was kind of like a beginner 101 on investing, understanding the stock market. I hope you learned something from this video. If you like the type of videos I'm making, please subscribe down below. Check out all the rest of my videos and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and peace.